Hi, Leo. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for July of 2021. Well, Leo, if this is your sun sign, then you've entered your yearly mop-up period already, and your birthday is probably coming up pretty fast. If you haven't already scheduled your annual birthday reading, you might want to do that because your solar return chart contains everything you need to know to hit the ground running this year. You'll find a link for that in the YouTube description below. Well, there are a lot of reasons to relax and enjoy this July, and particularly because Mercury retrograde is over, yahoo. Secondly, both of this month's moons involve only harmony and no stress at all. We'll say more about that in a minute. And thirdly, while Juno is still retrograde and that is stressing us out in the area of committed relationships, at least she's not involved with the moons in any difficult ways. So that means that our relationship retrospection period that we're in the middle of is going to probably go a little bit smoother this month than it did last month. And if you want to know more about Juno retrograde, you can find out all about it in the video that we made last month in the June 2021 news playlist. But I will briefly say, and let's turn on the screen share for this, that Juno is happening in your 5th house, and that some of what you may be retrospecting on is how much fun is my partnership? Is my partner somebody that I enjoy, who is also a playmate, somebody who is fun to be around, who makes me feel expanded? And if you're suffering because that is not a feature of your relationship, then you might find yourself rethinking and rejiggering and asking yourself, how can this relationship grow to accommodate that? Julia, I think you've got some news about Mercury, Venus, and Mars.
I do. Well, hey there, Leo. I'll begin with Mercury. We're all very happy because Mercury just finished its retrograde cycle last month, but it is slowly picking up speed. It's still a little bit in a shadow period about that, but we're definitely coming out of it. So it starts the month in your 11th house. This is the house of your friends. It represents all the groups in your life that you're a part of, whether that's a union, whether that's a society or club. And it also represents your long-term goal. And wherever we have Mercury is where we put a lot of our thinking, where we strategize. So this could be, a bit of a social period for you where you're kind of connecting with a lot of friends, maybe doing group FaceTimes. You might even do your best thinking if you ask people in a group context. And you also might be spending a lot of time really strategizing about your long-term goals. Then on July 11th, Mercury's going to then move into your 12th house. And when Mercury's in the 12th house, this is one of the most secluded houses in the whole zodiac wheel. We're a lot less inclined to sort of share our ideas. We tend to keep them a little bit more to ourselves. This will be a time period where you could actually do your best thinking if you're kind of journaling it sort of to yourself one-on-one. And you could be getting your best ideas from very ethereal places as well, like dream yoga or meditation, because the 12th house is a very, very ethereal place. And then Venus, the planet of love and beauty, she is in your 1st house of self for the first 21st days of the month. So for a good chunk of the month. And this is great news, Leo, because you like a little bit of attention, and Venus is there to give you all the right attention. Venus is the planet of beauty. So this is a wonderful time to look attractive, to do things to beautify your appearance. It's a wonderful dating transit for all the single Leos out there. And then on July 21st, it's going to shift into your 2nd house of money and possessions, where you're just going to want to, spend a little bit on the nice things in life, whether that's, a fancy dinner. The 2nd house is very sensual. So that could be anywhere from good food, good wine, maybe even some luxury items too. So, a little bit more spendy after July 21st. Now, Mars is in your 1st house as well this month for most of the month. He's going to be going into your 2nd house like the very last day of this month. So we're going to cover that in a lot more depth next month in our next video. But with Mars in the 1st house as well, with Venus and Mars, you're going to have some sort of good cop, bad cop energy because Venus likes to bring diplomacy. She's very peaceful. She's very tactful. She knows how to get along with people. And Mars is kind of like it's my way or the highway. So you could have a little bit of both of these happening, because Mars in the first house means that you can be a lot more assertive, good at standing up for your rights, and maybe a little prone to making mountains out of molehills too. But again, with Mars and Venus in there for covering a lot of that for the month, there might be a little bit of mix in that as well.
Well, we've got a couple of moons this month, as usual. The first one is on July 9th, and you can see it right here. It's a new moon in Cancer in your 12th house. This is definitely likely to be an emotional moon, a very intuitive moon, a moon where you just want to pull inward. Now, like I said before, both of the moons this month involve quite a bit of harmony. This particular moon has harmonious connections with Ceres and Neptune, and there's a lot of sweetness to it. We're calling this one random kindness, as in, random kindness and senseless acts of beauty, which is a lovely way to live, certainly. And I think that it could be a really great spiritual practice too for you this month in particular, as that new moon happens. And new moons are, of course, times of planting seeds, starting new beginnings. This one really begins in darkness, in mystery, in the hidden places. And so the very best kind of random kindness would be anonymous good. That's what I recommend for you, Leo, this month. So a little bit later in the month, actually, I want to talk about Chiron going retrograde, which it's going to do on July 15th. And if you're having a Chiron transit this year, you might feel this as a sort of an inflection point in your healing process. And it might also look like a wounding experience, especially if something, big has come up from your past. And we've made a video to help you navigate that stuff. You'll find it in the July 2021 news playlist on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology. Chiron in particular is retrograde in your 9th house. And so this year's Chiron transit will probably have something to do with asking yourself, what does it all mean? The really big questions, the philosophical questions. And also hopefully finding ways to assert yourself that are truly balanced. So more about that in the other video. Now, later in the month on July 22nd, there is, that's when the sun is moving into Leo. Hey, your sign, right? So your birthday is on its way. The season of Leo begins with all of its warmth, its generosity, and that feeling of, endless summer and how delicious that is. So it's your time. The final moon is a full moon in Aquarius, and that happens on July 23rd. Let's get a better view of it by looking at the 24th. There's that moon in Aquarius in your 7th house of relationship, opposite the sun in Leo here. We're calling this moon community support because of that moon in Aquarius, suggesting that that's really the best place to derive a sense of support is from community, friends, your circles that you're a part of. And during a full moon, it's always about balance because the sun and the moon are opposite to each other. So balancing your own sense of self and how centered you can feel in that against the objectivity of your friends and how they can provide a really great mirror for you. So take on some community support this month under the full moon. Well, that's what we've got for you today, Leo. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please share our videos widely. We always like to see you on our corner of the cosmos. And if you like this stuff, you can always find us at pandoraastrology.com, where you will find horoscopes, a monthly forecast, sessions that you can purchase with us, actually, for real, and classes as well. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye-bye.
Bye.